hope this is 6.5 minutes of absolute cinema. There are very few reasons that actually make sense for people to play gacha games as much as I do. Music for gacha games is one of them. I'm expecting bangers from everything. Arknights to Summoner's War, Ooh La La to Alone, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact, Wuthering Waves. There's a lot. Limbus Company. This might inspire me to play a game. I'm going to rate every song from 1 to 10. Here we go. The fuck? First song was already insane. I mean, I'd give that almost a near perfect 10. That was amazing. Four. Not impressed. Very N64. I give it a 5. It's only a baseline.
My path remains true!
Four. It's not that good. Nothing has impressed me besides the Gregorius Symphony so far. Okay. I'll give that a 6. It's very Persona-esque. Mid as fuck, 3. Damn! 8. Best one so far. 3, mid as fuck. 4, you hear it on any radio pop trash. Another 4, not impressed. Seven. 8. Seven. Another 7. Six. I know this song very well. Ooh, that violin is nice. Another 7. Quite nice, quite nice. Ten. 10. At least a 6. Hey, love it. Love it. At least a 6. an 8. Dude, Nikkei's music is so good. I should really restart a new account on Nikkei. But the problem is, the launch for me was so pay-gated to where I was and how fast I was accelerating. I just hate when I got to a point where the literal only option I had, if I wanted to progress that day, was to spend a fuck ton of money. And it made me so bitter, I just dropped it. Because, like, okay, you don't get this if you're a player now. But if you played on day one like I did, there was this massive wall you literally could not get past unless you waited a fuck ton or spent a shit ton. And I spent a shit ton, I shit you not. And I got fucked on polls. So I just said, fuck it, bro. I dropped it. Apparently they fixed it. But I have been thinking about going back to Nikkei. I have. We told you they fixed that. All right, yo, Crimson Degen, you tracking, I just said that, right? What's the point of me saying that and then you saying we told you? My bad. He just really wanted to let you know. You're right. Nah, I went in a little bit hard there. He's just a really good dude. Okay. In case you missed it, I do be missing shit, don't I? This one's all right. Love it. Ooh, 9. Ooh, you know what? Fucking 10. Oh my God. Hey. I play Blue Archive, but I'm 31, and I feel like people will be weird as fuck about it. Bro, Pichio. Why am I not playing PGR right now? Why am I not playing PGR right now? Bro. And you know what's crazy? They've missed like 100 new songs that were introduced this year that are fucking jammers. Like Summer Dratha from HSR. Like so many good songs. Pretty much everything from 2.0 Wuthering Waves has been so fucking good. Damn. Like the fucking date with the sexy ass slut from Wuwa. Oh my God. Man, I fucking love gacha games. The only issue is, and this is the big thing that holds a lot of gacha games back, there's so many that are just commitments. And you can't beat them and forget them. You have to play for life. That's the problem, bro. That's the problem. And that's why a lot of people just don't fuck with these. There's such a big time sink, bro. It's so frustrating. Chat, you know how you guys are my favorite people? Do you guys know how I appreciate you guys more than anybody? So, I am a rat piece of shit. And I could give you guys very reasonable excuses why I need to do this. However, I'm not going to do that. I am a rat piece of liar who told you guys we'd watch Free Room today. And I'm not going to deliver on that because I am a asshole. We will watch this tomorrow. And I am so sorry. But I'm a dumbass. And I have put off things that I thought that I've already done, and I have not done them. So I've been reacting to a lot of content lately, and sometimes people say I'm being overly negative. So I decided that I would react to someone else's reaction of the live stream to ensure that at least some positivity will be given. I just really have never seen anybody else fully react to a live stream. I also have no idea what was in 5.5, whether it was positive or negative. I have no idea. I have no spoilers other than I think the cowgirl's getting announced here, but I am just curious how other CCs feel about 5.5, and I would like to give my honest reaction on top of Mr. Zyox's reaction. I think this will be great. I don't think anybody's ever done this before on Twitch or on YouTube, so I think it'll be fun to be a first. So let's see how a Hoyo shill reacts to the live stream, and then I'll weigh in on top of that.
5.5.
I made it. I'm not late, am I? Nope.
No, you're on time.
Just about to start. Oh, and speaking of, hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Genshin
Oh, yeah, it's voice
Impact
acted.
version 5.5 special.
That's rare, man. That's really rare. In 2025, Genshin Impact having voice actors, man. I thought they were all being replaced by drones.
Welcome to the Genshin
Oh, yeah, it's voice
Impact
acted.
version 5.5 special program. My name is Naomi McDonald, and I voiced.
Okay, I don't care.
Awesome.
I was gonna do it.
Sure. Let's
All right,
show
here we
the
go.
version trailer.
This one actually looks really nice. All things considered, I think it looks
Okay.
sick.
That's my goat.
I do like the little Pokemon, man. I do think they're very cute.
I was talking about the Saurian.
That's the thing about Genshin is it still looks very pretty. Like, I will say, just absolutely gorgeous visuals, you know what I mean?
Okay.
The problem that I have is it's kind of like a McDonald's hamburger. It looks really good, and it tastes really yummy, but it's going to make you feel like shit if you eat it for too long. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. This fucking cow is so hot. Like, for real. Like, that turn back, I thought her whole ass was out there. Low-key, her legs are so fucking fat. I thought that was her whole ass cheek. You know, I think that fucking cow is hot as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, that should look goofy. I ain't gonna lie.
We made it.
We already saw that Saurian, but yeah, it's just a giant ass cow.
Collective of plenty.
What up, my dudes?
What up? What?
From the Flower Feather Clan.
What?
Sorry, take a screenshot.
The blood pumping like a
Really? That guy looks like shit.
tribe's the strongest, huh?
We gonna geek out over that, dude?
Wait, they showed Aoife. Why did he get the?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that in Genshin Impact, you gotta pretend that you're gay to get views. I forgot. You gotta act like all the dudes are really hot and that you don't care that the females are hot. Because if you do, people are gonna go at you for like sexualizing the characters. But it's okay if women sexualize them. It's okay if men sexualize other men. But it's not okay if men sexualize women. I forgot those are the rules. I was wondering why he was tweaking over that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know how you tweak over that pussy-ass character that was shown and you don't goon over the cow. I forgot those are the rules set in place. Yeah, you got a gay bait 100%.
To see him though. It's also sending a screen. Oh,
Is Yanta a
oh, she's a
4-star?
4-star, by the way. It said it top left.
Wow, that's fucking insane. She was like the most
I'm
important
not a
character
virgin
now.
on that, but yeah.
I don't get that at all. I don't get why they would do that. I know that's such a shit
Wait,
move.
someone sent me a screenshot of Aoife.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but I gotta get some food in me.
I like the whole goofy ass running. I know people were upset about it, but I thought it was actually pretty cool. But it depends on how they implement it. If it's like really like pay to win quality of life or not.
More, please.
Really cute.
That was good.
Catch me if you can. If you can figure out which way to go, of course.
Yeah, I actually don't think this character looks bad at all.
That's-
I actually think she looks pretty
Oh,
good,
it's not
all
that.
things considered.
Evil jerk of a mushroom. Let me show you instead.
I heard she was free. Is she free?
Look out below.
Okay, what is?
No, she's not free?
What was that?
Oh, fuck, damn.
Ultimate flying kick.
Dude, I would go so far as to say that this is probably my favorite Natlan character. I actually think this character looks fucking awesome. Like, I ain't gonna play, but I'll definitely look at the porn 100%.
Wait, are they both electric? Okay, why did I say electric? I'm good. I just woke up. Oh no, that enemy looks fucking cringe.
It just looks like a train.
Oh no, not good. The volcano is acting up again.
Jesus Christ, Mama, just shut the fuck up. Bro already said, oh no, in 2025. Jesus.
Okay.
Enemy looks very easily manageable.
What the hell is happening?
Damn!
What is that surf? Oh no, that's the dragon.
Damn, bro! Wait, yo, this looks nice as fuck. Nah, good for them, man. I think this place looks sick.
This area is really cool.
That's it? That's all your reaction is? Fuck, I hate this game and I thought this shit was hype as fuck. That's all you gonna say? This is the top reactor? God damn! Hoyo needs to raise the money on his contract if this is the type of reaction we're getting, bro. Jesus. Okay. Could you imagine that zone if you could have a glider that was free? That should be hype, bro. If you take that map and you put that shit in Wuwa, oh my god, cinema. Fucking cinema.
Hungry for humans. Is there really some kind of evil power inside the sacred flame crystals?
I gotta think this through. What's
The problem is the voice acting is really talking to the players like they're retarded. It's insane. It really is talking to the players like they have 5 IQ. It's nuts.
Is that Eva's
It
voice?
would be great if we could get to the bottom of.
Hard or challenging big boss. Oh, tweaking out over this. Bro, they're fans, man. Code Tectone, man. Imagine that. Tectone Chan. Imagine that. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All right, let's see what.
Oh, I mean,
Crazy. All right, let's see what. EECTONE. Why is there a Tectone code? Bro, they're fans, man. Code Tectone, man. Imagine that. Tectone Chan. Imagine that. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All right, let's see what else I got here.
Poland, which has been looming in the distance since version 5.0.
We have to listen to this bitch talk.
Natland view the volcano
Jesus.
as a sacred
oh, they said
mountain.
final stop?
Sacred Mountain. That sounds a bit cool.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, if this is the final stop, and that means there's no new content for Genshin for 5.6, 5.7, 5.8 until 6.0, that's insane. That would be fucking insane. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Genshin Impact streamers' numbers, they're in the fucking bin. Right? Like, the numbers for Genshin, the only thing that's getting views right now are guides and shorts and you laugh, you loses. That is it. Like, streams are in the fucking dumpster compared to where they used to be. Like, hold on, let me pull this shit up. So, like, this was Xiox at the beginning of Natlan, and now it's almost halved for average concurrent viewership, which is just fucking insane to me. Yeah, same thing with Doro. Every single creator right now is on a down spike. Every single one. Every single Genshin is on a huge down spike, losing like 30 to 40% of their usual viewership, which is insane.
So for travelers who have played through the Cinder City World Quest, the name might sound familiar. It's the place we were told to take our
What
story.
if we go back to Mondstadt after?
So if you're planning to
Oh, I
explore
gotta
the
move.
volcano, head to the tribe first and keep going from there.
Whoa, that platform looks
Yeah, I
like
don't know
it
why I
has
would wanna do that.
horns. Kind of like Maressa. Must be one of the main attractions of the tribe.
I'd rather request we go back to Fontaine.
Dude, I like it.
The volcano is dormant most of the time.
I will say, if there was ever a quest where we went back to Fontaine and talked to Farina, I would actually go play that. Because that's where I know that the Fontaine riders were fucking amazing. For everything involving Farina and Nugalet was super good.
But if the ground starts to shake, it could be a sign that an
After
eruption is
this?
imminent.
In
But
like 2
when that
patches?
happens, you can just
We go to the
and
void,
watch the
meet
volcano
Skirk,
flame.
quantum elements released.
Really beautiful. Oh, and
I don't know why we would want another element. New elements are just really not good for the game. And all it does is allow the game to further incentivize that you can't use the old characters anymore and you have to use the new characters. Maybe not permanently, but for elements like Dendro, when that first came out, it really was like the fucking meta to use that shit. And it was like, it's kind of like, how people always say, oh yeah, Dendro's not a big deal. It's fine in 2025. Yeah, well, for the first 6 months when it came out, it was. Same thing for like, Natlan. Oh, who cares what the quality of life exploration? It's not even that big of a deal. Well, it was in Natlan, right? So they would just make it a poor game state for far too long to really want that extra element. And to be honest, with 1, 2, 3, like 6 elements, do you really need a 7th? Not really. Just fix the ones that you currently have. Like, Geo is still a fucking joke. Like, fix Geo, man. That would be way better for the game.
You'll probably
But yeah, the
encounter
Nightingale
fallen
shit was so
rocks,
gay.
too, but the tribe Saurians can help out with that.
Oh, nice.
Like the other tribes, the Collective of Plenty is home to a unique kind of Saurian.
Sugoi. Alright, so you ride on like a bull and shit, and you bump your head into shit.
Speed eating contest featuring a ton of delicious food.
The servings are that big? How do people even finish something like that?
Come hungry,
Okay.
I guess? Varessa will introduce the traveler to another one of her favorites during her tribal chronicle.
Hello?
Okay, alright, so I'm learning a lot. So, what I do when I stream is, when something's good, I say it's good. When something's bad, I say it's bad. What these streamers do is when something's good, they say it's good. When something's bad, they just don't say anything. And they just stay silent. And that's how they keep the guys up of, oh, I'm one of the good ones. Okay, smart.
Flavored mushroom.
Sorry, like,
And
stutters for a second.
it's
Yeah.
not poisonous?
Let me pause and
just-
resume. What the hell?
Taste really good, but there's
Mushroom. Isn't that a fungus?
Great. You eat food. Okay, character showcase, Pog.
Ouch! Ouch! Ah.
Okay, what the fuck was that? Good.
She slaps her ass and goes, ouch, ouch, ouch. I like that.
It's a little crazy. Oh,
I like the luchador shit, man. It's dope. The flying dropkick is actually sick. Nah, I think this character is actually so dope.
Oh my god, the heart effects.
Wait, what? Are those normal? I mean, I guess we'll see, but are those normals or plunges?
Without the mask, Varessa's movements can be a bit uncoordinated, awkward,
Alright,
and clumsy.
she looks cute. Yeah, she punches shit. She punches shit.
Like our travel
Okay,
matches
yeah,
are
she
a
eats
popular
food.
activity,
There's a
especially
wrestling
between
ring.
People and Saurians.
Okay.
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 They definitely look like bullfighters.
Okay, you passed the
Or,
vibe check.
I guess Saurian fighters in this case. Have them.
Okay.
It's quite the contrast seeing her train people who are so much bigger than her. But once you learn about
Play controlled breathing. Start the clock.
Yeah, I can't believe she's not Pyro.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
I also thought she was going to fight with her fist. Like, you know, the trailer
Oh, yeah, she does
led
have a
you to
voice.
believe.
Jansan is an
I have
electro
no
arm.
idea why the fuck she's using a
Electrical
spear.
alarm?
but isn't that a barbell?
Hey, a barbell
You think she'll be better
can be
than
an
Sino?
effective
That's a
weapon,
high bar.
but
Sorry, I'm
in
sorry.
the hands of
I'm
an
sorry.
experienced in-game professional,
Okay.
of course. So don't try this at home, travelers.
Okay.
The point she has. That is
Yeah, Yanto
really-
looks like a massive disappointment.
5 point.
We're pulling for it. Okay, sorry.
All right.
Wait, that's
Now we can
good.
Actually, take our first break. See you soon.
Okay.
Fire circlet, which sits right above the volcano.
Circle,
You know, being so close.
Yeah, I've already seen this. Okay.
This is sick.
Yeah, looks cool.
Like it
Yeah.
Is okay. I actually can't stand watching this guy anymore. He's just adding fucking nothing to it. I thought he was going to say anything, but he doesn't say anything. And the worst thing is, even when something's bad, he doesn't say anything. I wanted to see his reaction for something, and maybe I'll look at the timestamp for that reaction. But good lord, I mean, yeah, we already saw this. Wait, is there really only this little? Is there really only this little shit in 5.5? The new zone looked really cool. Okay, Tournament Glory of Bloom. I guess that's an event where you fight shit. Okay, cool. Yeah. And then you play Monopoly. Okay. Great. All right. What is that, like fucking Mario Party shit? Okay. 2 combat events. Very interesting. They usually never do that. Rhythm Ball. Wow, that's insane. Okay. Overflowing flavor. New artifacts. This is what I wanted to see his reaction to. All right, so it looks like 5.5 has a new zone to explore. So I think I'm pretty sure it's just a filler patch. Watch this, 128. This is what I wanted to say. This is the reaction I wanted to say.
Sure.
Oh my god, wait, it's actually there for a frame. Wait a second. wait, they actually showed it for a frame. Wait a second.
0.5. For our
Wait.
device,
Wait.
sir.
Wait. Okay, it's true. It's a plunging set. I mean, that's okay. Yeah. Even the 2-piece gives. Why would they make the? Wait, let me go back a frame. Let me make it a bit more clear.
Sir.
Lightkeeper's Pledge. So the set is called Long Night's Oath. 2-piece set. Plunging attack damage increased by 25%. 4-piece set. After the equipping character's plunging attack, charge attack, elemental skill hits an opponent, they will gain 2 stacks of Radiance Everlasting. So 5 total. Plunging attacks, charge attacks, or elemental skills can each trigger this effect once every 1 second. Radiance Everlasting. Plunging attacks deal 15% increased damage for 6 seconds, max 5 stacks. Each stack's duration is counted independently. So that's 15 times 5 plus 25. That's 45 plus 25, 70. 70. No, so yeah. Did I do the math correctly?
If it's every stack by 15%, wouldn't it be 75% damage, then 25%? Wouldn't it be 100%? Isn't 15 times 5 75?
A 100. Wait, why 100? 1. Oh wait, I can't do math. Wait. Let me pull up the calc.
5 times 15
Sorry,
is
I
75.
got cooked. Wait. Oh, it's not 45. It's 5 stacks. I'm sorry, bro. I'm American.
This is the #1 guide maker for Genshin Impact, by the way. We're all tracking that?
Wait, I did 15 times 3, which is 45. My bad. Wait, how much is it? It's
50 times
30
7 is
plus
75.
30, 60 plus 15, 75 plus 25.
It's 100%.
Okay, yeah, it's 100. It's 100% plunge damage. I mean, that's okay.
Bro, the artifacts that you grinded for 3 years have all just been power crept. There's no way you feel that that's okay. There better be a crash out after this.
Call Zaj. I don't want to call him. Hey, man.
Yo, what's up?
Jesus. Hide your kids. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I guess it is really weird when you sit there and you watch these people's reaction to the live stream, and it quite literally is. They just had 3 years of progress taken away from them, and they said, that's okay. I don't know how high on copium you have to be be Genshin brain-pilled. What a shit fucking react. All things considered, I think that new zone is really cool. I think I might think that it's really cool because I'm thinking, and it would be cool to explore in Wuwa with the gliders. In Genshin, I don't know how cool it'll be to explore, but it looked really pretty. However, yeah, this looks like a filler patch. Looks like all flash, no substance, is what it is. And man, it really is if something bad happens, just say nothing. That's insane to me. That legitimately is insane. Like, oh, that's okay. I thought he would have crashed out. I was told he crashed out. My literal intention with reacting to that was to have at least Niactic a little bit of credibility, saying, see, look, he'll criticize the game. And then it's just not there. Wait, is this it? Please tell me he crashes out here.
Ooh, maybe Echoes, right? We'll get both at once, but honestly, I don't even care about Echoes. No one uses it except...
Oh. So he knew he was recording a YouTube video, and he was going to upload it to YouTube. So he kept his crash out on Twitch only to not have negativity.
No one uses it except one character that nobody uses. So I'm mostly just there for Vermilion. I farm it for some years. It even gets added to the Strongbox. So not only are they...
You can even tell that it bothers him in that react, and he doesn't say anything. I'm sorry, bro. That shit is so corny. I'm good. 5.5, it looks cool to fly around in, but other than that, still nothing crazy. We'll see what happens in the next 4 patches when nothing is added. Oh well.
The scene begins at a car accident where
if you know ball, you'll appreciate these lines.
Having it my way like Usher, dog. Red and blue diamond like Gusher, dog. Up score on you niggas like Rucker, dog. The numbers is nothing, the money is nothing. I really been home, I promise. Damn. They can't even heavy out west, and I carry the weight, nigga. I'm Luka Doncic.
This boy is overdue for a bath because he's nasty. He's so nasty. I feel like y'all ain't hearing me and y'all ain't hearing him. You ignoring the both of us. This man said Eleonte go big. White gold link fell out the belly. A emerald cup for hers and his. That bitch on point like ASAP belly. I'm talking about. Oh my God.
Hey, get it together, man.
You're right. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a brief video talking about Cardi's latest anticipated album, I Am Music. 4.5 years in the making or so. Was it worth the wait?
Nah.
Now, I'm gonna mostly be ranting in this video. I'm not sorry. There's some songs I like on this album, but in my honest opinion, the majority of this album sounds like a bunch of songs somebody's thinking of using, or songs that are just stockpiled in the vault. You're not sure if you go do something with it. None that really jump out, save for a few. Tell me with a straight face 2024 didn't sound better than most of this whole album. A song that, by the way, still isn't on Spotify because this man is a horrible person, but we'll get into that in a second. For an album this anticipated, for a star and Cardi to be this hyped up, I expect your album to begin with the setting the table song. It sets the stage for the rest of the record. This just comes on. It sounds like any other song that's not an intro. It could be played out of order. You wouldn't even know that it begins the record. And it just so happens to be the worst song on the whole record. It sounds like a steel mill. It sounds like a Saw movie. This is supposed to be for a certain setting. It's moshing music. You go crazy, you go stupid, you do what. But it's not good sounding mosh music. It hurts to listen to. It's ear grating. Nah, Unc, you're just too old to be listening to Cardi. He's too old to listen to himself. He's too old to be making this. He's also too old to be making streamers stay up an entire 8-hour shift. And he's the only one to be going through shit like this. It's always an issue, it's always a delay, it's always a problem. He's just like Kanye. Not only are y'all notoriously late, you are religiously undependable. You'd show up late to your own funeral. Also, Kendrick, find an excuse to diss Kanye. Please tear him to shreds. Eminem, tear him to shreds. Somebody, I'm sick of this man. Ken Dick, he did it on purpose. He is a hater. He is a jealous dweeb. What did Ice Cube say? He's been begging for it for years. Somebody nail him. Niggas can't be the king until they take down the king. Shut up. Whoever's on top in hip-hop, you got a problem with them just because you're jealous. You want the limelight to be on you 24/7. And this ain't got nothing to do with you, nor has it ever. You don't write your raps. This is the same guy that said, Kendrick is an inspiration. Thank you for the vibrations and the spirit. Your meaning, message, and execution are gifts to the world. He is a schizo-schism skid mark on the underwear of common decency. But he made graduation. Until Northwest graduates, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see you anymore. Be gone. Now back to Cardi. If the songs on this album aren't painful to listen to, they are oversaturated with repetition, Not even good repetition at that. Some of the production great in here handled by Kanye, one of the only things he can still do right at this current date in his career. But what good is the production if you're wasting it with nonsense? Just like Kanye did on Carnival. Carnival, great song until Kanye starts rapping. Oh, she says it was on my dick. Oh, she says it's on my dick. Get the hell off the song, get out the studio, get out the country. Far too many of the songs on this album descend into the same territory, with the same vocals and the same delivery. Half the songs go sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm pissed. But I like when you switch up the voice. That shit is a vibe. I do very much like the voice switching. I do think it's cool. But this album, I expected more. I wanted more. I thought he was going to take a leap, and it doesn't feel as though he's done that here. You have Young Thug, you have Kendrick, you've got all these associated big acts, you've got Future, you've got some of the best people in the industry working with you on this album. 4 years in the making, and you really don't do much with it outside of the norm to what we'd expect. The bare minimum. A standard run-of-the-mill Playboy Cardi sounding song that happens to be duplicated almost 30 times with the exception of some standouts. I didn't even like Whole Lotta Ray when it came out. I made a review trashing that on my original channel. But over time, I started to feel a bit better about it. My music palette increased, or it evolved more. Where I say, yeah, there's some songs on here I do like. And he sounded different. It was creatively ambitious, if I could give it anything. But most of this just doesn't seem special. It doesn't sound special. The song he had with Uzi on there, I think Uzi was just doing the interlude, no Pierre Bourne. And even though Kendrick is one of my favorite artists ever, there was a song or two I didn't much care for. I think it was Backdoor. I don't care for that one. There's some other ones that's there. I'm not going to be blind and just think everything Kendrick does is gold. Everything certain artists I like go to gold. It's just certain things I just may not like it at the time. Maybe a few weeks down the road, I'll feel different about it. But as of right now, this just wasn't worth it to me. And that may just be the way things are going to be in the foreseeable future with the younger generation of rappers coming. Like, they're just not good performers. Cardi, I don't consider you a good performer. I don't consider anyone a good performer if you need the aid of auto-tune in order to accentuate the vibe and put on a show. Look at it this way. If somebody told some of these artists right now, stop what you're doing, spit me a rap or a verse, show me why you are getting millions of dollars, show me what it is about you that makes you a star, they would not sound good. They would sound awful. And almost all of them perform with the help of a backing track. I don't come to the concert to hear the song that I can easily play on Spotify in my headphones. I want to see you perform it, not the background vocals. Don't hold your microphone up to the crowd and have them do half the song and then the backing track does the other half. No, look at him. He's just standing. He's just walking around smoking. What is that? That's not why I buy tickets. That's not performing. You're just standing there. You looking too deep into it, bro. It's not this and that. Like, look. If you have to provide your own hype and vibe, is that him doing it or is that you doing it? It's the same way when you see somebody like Ice Spice or somebody twerking up there. You not doing nothing? That's not a dance. The people that's cheering that are guys are because they're horny, and the girls are cheering because they can't dance either. Oh my God, yes, girl body is tea, she's slaying. The only thing being slayed here is my intelligence. See, I planned to make this video just 5 minutes, but now it's done turned into something else. Everything is always longer than I want it to be. But tell me, what do you think about this album if you heard it? Do you think this is just the complaints of somebody who's acting older than they actually are? This is an old soul complaining. Do you agree with some of the stuff? What would you give the grade for this album? And what did you think of Kendrick's performance and everything else? Comment below, let me know. Like and subscribe if you are new. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will have more hip-hop videos and things coming in the very near future. Basketball won't be getting pushed to the side or anything. I just do not want to make another channel. And basketball and hip-hop, they go pretty good together. Appreciate you all so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.
You guys know that I usually never talk about leaks on my channel whatsoever, and if that's something that you don't want to hear right now, then I recommend skipping this video. But I just came back from a 2-day break, and I heard what I consider to be, and I mean this genuinely, unironically, unequivocally, okay? And this is going to seem like an exaggeration. The worst thing ever to happen to a gacha game out of any game that I've ever played. Like, it is threat level dragon on how bad this shit is. And I say dragon because Hoyoverse.
Bystanders rush to the scene, calling for an ambulance because someone is trapped inside the vehicle. The person inside the car believes he is about to die, alone and without friends or family, having nothing of value left behind and no special memories to cherish. His life has been filled with loneliness, and he wonders what the afterlife will be like. The scene shifts to an elven family in a different world, where Lise, the protagonist, tells his father that he is going into the forest alone to forage. His mother asks if that's wise, reminding him that the forest is full of dangers. She expresses her concern, stating that Lise is only 10 years old and should be at least 30 before venturing out there. However, Lise insists that they shouldn't worry. At this time of year, the muscular wolves won't be a threat. His mother still hesitates to let him go alone. Lise mentions that the life of foraging and napping in the forest is simple and easy for him. His father notes that Lise is growing up quickly compared to others. Lise's mother touches his face, voicing her worry about him maturing too fast, especially considering that the lifespan of elves can last for 1,000 years. Lise reflects on this, recalling how he should have died in a terrible accident. Instead, he was reincarnated as a member of the elf species, who typically live for 1,000 years, and now he enjoys life as Lise. Even though he didn't know what had caused it, he believed that this must have been the second chance given to him by the gods, and he was determined to live his best life without any regrets in this world. Over the course of 10 years, he had embraced this new life, laying the groundwork for a bright future. However, due to the long lifespan of the elves, the concept of time felt loose and fluid. Furthermore, the village surrounding the ancient tree of Yggdrasil was protected by a massive, imperceptible barrier. With the threat of disasters and the danger from magical beasts largely non-existent, the fruit born from Yggdrasil was abundant and had become a staple food for the villagers. The elves thrived in this environment, born to live in harmony with their surroundings. Most elves spent their 1,000 years in this village without ever seeing the outside world. As he was about to speak, the patriarch, an elderly man leaning on a staff, approached and remarked that Klein's child was as energetic as ever. He noted that Lise had just learned to speak 5 years ago, yet he was already curious about the outside world. Lisa's mother apologized to the patriarch, who reassured her that it was fine. He acknowledged that a few elves had shown interest in the outside world, but he cautioned that it was a perilous path. Having served as patriarch for 600 years, he had seen many elves venture outside, only to meet tragic ends, especially those who associated with humans, who often faced woeful fates. This made the outside world a dangerous place. The patriarch asked Lise if he still wished to explore the outside world, noting that Lise was more intelligent than the others. Lise expressed his gratitude to his parents for raising him and appreciation for everyone in the forest. He mentioned his desire to leave evidence that he had lived in this world. He thought that even if he had 1,000 years to live, he didn't want to remain confined to a small world. He wanted to learn various things and meet many different people. Once again, he stated that he wanted to live his life without any regrets. His father replied that if Lise was truly determined, they wouldn't stop him. The patriarch gently patted Lise on the head and remarked that it had been hundreds of years since Lee Browley had ventured into the outside world. Now the patriarch was willing to allow Lise to do the same, provided he passed the examination. Excited, Lise agreed to this challenge. The patriarch instructed him to master the peak of elven recovery magic, which resided within his soul within a century. Lise wondered about the significance of 100 years. The patriarch explained that it was important because the outside world was dangerous, and Lise needed to be able to protect himself. If he passed the examination within 100 years, the patriarch would grant him permission to explore the outside world, and he asked if Lise understood. Lise contemplated that 100 years seemed like an eternity, but in reality, it was merely a tenth of an elf's lifespan. He felt that if this was the only condition to venture outside, it would be a worthwhile challenge. Lise agreed, and the patriarch cautioned him that the exam was not something he could pass half-heartedly. This could not be forgotten. After 10 years had passed, Lise was now testing his recovery magic. As he healed an ancient tree, the patriarch was shocked to see that the great progenitor, who had surpassed 1,000 years of age, had been restored. This magic represented the pinnacle of elven magic, ultimate recovery magic. The Patriarch was astonished that only 10 years had elapsed since Lise began his training. He asked Lise to explain how he had achieved this remarkable feat. Lise replied that he had been training his magical power since he was little. The Patriarch inquired when he had started. Lise mentioned that he was currently 22 years old, so he had likely begun when he was around 5. He realized that before he obtained permission from the Patriarch to venture into the forest, he had already made some arrangements for his future. The first part of his plan was to cultivate and enhance his overall magical power. He recalled that there was a vast library within the ancient tree, filled with an abundance of magic manuals written by humans. Through his studies, he learned that the magical potential of humans is typically established by the age of 20. Lise understood that there were 3 key elements to success: circumstance, aptitude, and effort. The frequency with which someone could release their magical power was directly related to the increase in their magical capacity. This understanding clarified many things for Lise. With this knowledge, he pushed himself to the limit, using his recovery magic repeatedly until he nearly exhausted his power. However, he realized that the average lifespan of a human was around 60 years, which meant their magical power typically increased until they reached the age of 20. This led him to wonder what would happen if an elf practiced their techniques. He speculated that his magical power could continue to grow until he reached the age of 300. The Patriarch was astonished. He had never expected anyone to attain the peak of recovery magic so quickly, especially with 80 years remaining until the examination concluded. Lise then mentioned that he had read in a magic manual that elves specialize in recovery magic, dwarves in earth magic, and demons in different kinds of magic suited to their species. However, through study and training, he believed that it was theoretically possible to use other types of magic as well. In the library of the forest, most magic manuals focused solely on recovery magic, so he asked the Patriarch if there were any manuals for other types of magic available elsewhere. The Patriarch, shocked, agreed and asked if Lise truly intended to acquire other forms of magic. Lise agreed, stating that until the exam concluded in 80 years, he wanted to accomplish as much as possible. The Patriarch noted that even now, when demons no longer existed, the passion for studying magic was something even elves could not help but inherit. He then handed Lise the key to the forest's library, which granted access to forbidden books as well. However, he cautioned that the magic manuals for which Lise had no aptitude would require considerable time to comprehend. Even if he understood them, it might take him 100 years. Lise accepted the key with gratitude, promising that he would do his best to reach the peak of all types of magic. The Patriarch advised him to remain calm in his pursuits. After reading extensively in the library, 10 more years passed. Lise reflected that it was now time for his appointment. By the age of 30, he had mastered all types of magic as he had promised, and he wondered what kind of magic manuals he would find at that time. The Patriarch had also entrusted him with the responsibility of maintaining and managing the library. Excited, Lise ventured out to seek new manuals in the outside world, marking a significant day for him. The elves' only interaction with the outside world was through the humans who managed the surrounding area, particularly the House of Garlanda. The former Patriarch and the family head had forged a pledge, initiating a long-standing cultural exchange between their peoples. Lise sought to gather magic manuals from the outside world, transforming products from the ancient trees into capital and making a deal with the family head, Grillet Garlanda. While sitting on a tree branch, he recalled a young elf who referred to him as Master, commenting that no human could keep up with Lise's training in human magic, a practice that was entirely outside the norms of elven tradition. Afterward, the young elf suggested that Lise meet his childhood friend. Lise paused in his thoughts, remembering their last encounter. Just then, he spotted a carriage approaching. At first, he mistook the figure inside for Grillet, but he quickly realized that the boy's appearance had changed significantly since they last met. As the boy looked around, Lise hid his hand, causing Grillet to flinch slightly in surprise. Lise stepped forward, greeting him and referring to him as Grillet. He remarked that it had been a long time and inquired about the kind of magic manual Grillet had brought this time. The boy was taken aback to see him and exclaimed that it was true. Lise really existed, just as his father had told him. Lise wondered which father the boy meant. The boy knelt before him, explaining that this was his first time meeting Lise and that he was the son of Grillet named Gallius. He continued, saying that his father had told him stories about Lise. Realizing that this was Gallius, the son of Grillet, Lise couldn't help but think that they had only met a few days ago. Gallius explained that his father had wanted to come in person, but no one could resist the passage of time, and Grillet was no exception. As he began to feel the weight of his father's years, Gallius, being the eldest child, decided to visit, hoping his presence would be permissible. Lise then asked Gallius when Grillet had last come to the forest. Gallius replied that his mother and father had married around 2 years ago, which meant it had been approximately 22 years since Grillet's last visit. Lise reflected on how just 22 years had passed. Since becoming an elf, he had completely lost track of time, but he recognized how swiftly a human's life could change. When Lise mentioned that he would be leaving the forest soon, Gallius was taken aback to learn that Lise had only 7 years left before his departure. Lise nodded, realizing that by human standards, he was already 93 years old. He added that if he were to leave the forest, he must pay a visit to Gallius's family, and asked Gallius to tell Grillet that Lise would be delighted to meet him. Gallius, filled with joy, grabbed Lise's hand and agreed, assuring him that his father would be equally pleased to hear the news. After saying goodbye, Gallius departed, leaving Lise to contemplate his future. He thought that as long as he could overcome the Patriarch's trial, he would surely be able to meet Grillet. Returning to the library, Lise pulled out a multitude of books, spreading them across the floor. He mused that he wouldn't be bored during the remaining years in the forest. Selecting a book, he began to read tales of heroes ill-suited for magic. The stories reminded him of nursery tales, recounting how a hero once defeated a demon king, sparking his imagination and filling him with inspiration for his own journey ahead. Lise contemplated the world beyond the forest, recognizing that the demons had long since perished and that even the existence of elves might be doubted by humans. As he continued to explore the library, he discovered an ancient book that seemed to be a long-forgotten magic manual. The condition of the book was fragile, its pages yellowed with age. Intrigued, he began to read about various movement magics, convinced he could at least grasp some of its concepts. Having already mastered all types of magic, Lise was eager to delve into the realm of ancient magic as well. He recalled that long ago, extinct demi-humans wielded powerful magic, while former demons had used their arcane abilities to exert control over the world. These ancient magics were diverse and distinct from the 4 basic types, often requiring special conditions to invoke. Many spells took months or even years to comprehend. The prospect of unlocking such knowledge excited him. Determined, Lise lifted the book and resolved to try out a spell, intending to practice near the house. He chanted the incantation for the movement magic, Bizandali, feeling an unusual energy course through him. As he completed the chant, he wondered if he had indeed pronounced the spell correctly on his first attempt. In an instant, he found himself teleported into a dense forest. The air was thick with tension, and as he opened his eyes, he was immediately struck by the unsettling growl of a creature nearby. The scent of blood permeated the air, heightening his senses and sending a shiver down his spine. Lise realized he had entered a realm far more perilous than he had anticipated. As Lise gathered his bearings, he realized he was standing before a group of monstrous creatures, their menacing forms looming around him. Behind him, he noticed a few humans, their expressions a mix of confusion and alarm. They whispered among themselves, wondering where he had come from and if he was one of the guild's posse. Lise felt a wave of confusion wash over him. He had no idea what they were talking about. It seemed that despite successfully using the movement magic, he had somehow exited the protective barrier surrounding his forest. His mind raced as he assessed the situation. Then his gaze fell upon a human child lying near the feet of the monster. She was injured but remarkably still alive. Concern flooded through him. Driven by instinct, Lise moved closer to the child, determined to help her escape the looming danger. He remembered that after leaving, he had learned and cast a brand new movement spell. He was supposed to appear somewhere near the house, but it seemed he had landed in an unknown place. Judging by the situation, it appeared he was outside of Yggdrasil's concealing barrier, and behind him stood humans he had never met before. Those people were asking him who he was and whether the guild had sent him. Lise thought there was a pack of beasts in front of him, and that a child had been attacked by them. One man explained that they were being pursued not only by magic beasts, but also by the guild's thugs and their merchandise. He lamented that their luck was truly terrible. Suddenly, a wolf roared, and the group realized it was aiming for them. Panic set in, and they all began to run. Lise noted that although they intended to use him as bait, he would not allow that to happen. Setting aside the injured child, he refused to let their plan succeed. Lise then cast the shadow spell, Black Whip, to capture them all. The people wondered what this strange thing was that had ensnared them, leaving them unable to move. Lise turned toward the injured child, thinking he could help. Just then, he saw the wolves rushing toward him. He activated the hardening spell, enhancing his magic, and then struck one of the wolves with the beast fist. The injured child watched as Lise fought. Lise noted that it was his first time using the strengthening magic created by a beast man, and he hadn't expected it to work on his muscles. He quickly dispatched the next beast. One man noticed Lise's ears and asked his boss if they belonged to an elf. The boss questioned why a being that only existed in legend would be in such a place. The third man chimed in, saying it was rumored that elves could only use recovery magic. Afterward, Lise looked at the child and realized she seemed to be the only one barely breathing. If she was still alive, he could heal her. He approached the girl, reassuring her that it was fine and that she would regain her strength shortly. Lise activated the dragon's healing breath skill to restore her health. One man wondered if Lise was burning the child. His boss denied this, explaining that the girl was absorbing the flames. Finally, the girl was healed, and in shock, the man remarked that a wound which could only be cured by grand recovery magic had been healed in an instant. As the girl tried to say something, she pointed to a collar around her neck. Lise understood, noting that it had a binding magic applied to it, preventing her from speaking. She nodded in agreement. He touched the collar and explained that if anyone other than her master attempted to remove it, it would collapse. He realized that magic tools had been made for slaves and fully grasped the situation. Then he told her to hang in there and that she could trust him. First, he would remove the spell from the collar. He needed to infuse it with more magical power than it already possessed while simultaneously introducing some destruction magic. Lise cast the destruction spell, Devil's Thread, and as he took off the collar, he threw it aside just before it exploded. He told the girl that she had done well to hold on during that ordeal. The boss remarked that Lise had likely destroyed a magic seal. One man asked if Lise was really an elf. Lise approached them, wondering what to do now that they had figured him out. The boss explained that they had been tasked with protecting the children, but their luck had run out when they encountered a pack of muscle wolves. They had even attempted to fight back, but those beasts had split them up and devoured them one by one. Lise had helped save them, otherwise everyone would have been killed and eaten. Gratefully, they asked him to release them all. Lise wondered if they truly intended to help and realized that they might have understood his position. But he was an elf. Thanks to his extensive experience, he had learned of their plan to steal everything. They were shocked to hear that he knew about their scheme, and he informed them that he would ask them 3 questions. First, he wanted to know who they were. Second, he asked what they had been changed for. Lastly, he inquired about their goal in taking the small children while traveling through such a dangerous forest. He warned them that if they answered him honestly, he would spare their lives. They became frightened and promised to respond truthfully. Finally, they admitted that they were simply hired slave traders and that there were parents willing to sell their children when they needed money. For the second question, they explained that they were being chased because someone in the guild had set them up. As for the third question, they revealed that while they were on their way to deliver the merchandise for a deal, pursuers had begun chasing them, leaving them no choice but to take the forest path to escape. Lise reflected that in this world, the nature of humans had changed little from that of his own. He recalled the words of the Patriarch, who had warned him never to get involved with humans, as they were ferocious, savage, and sneaky beings. The Patriarch had urged him not to forget those words. Lise stopped reminiscing, and the boss insisted that since they had answered all the questions correctly, he should let them go. Lise acknowledged that the Patriarch often advised against getting too involved with humans, suggesting that they would forget they had ever met him. Just as he was about to take action, the boss asked what he was talking about. Lise cast the memory alteration spell, Memory Burial. As they all seemed to go blank, he decided to leave them there for now. The girl tugged at his shirt, referring to him as her savior, and asked if he was an elf. He nodded and introduced himself as Lise. He felt relieved that she could speak again and apologized for not being able to help the other children. He then noticed a cross-shaped scar etched into her chest, likely created by the magic tools as proof of her status as a slave. She told him that if she were stronger, she could surely help those children, at least enough to protect them. But she felt powerless to do anything. The magic that Lise used seemed incredibly strong, and she wanted to be strong as well. That's why she asked him to take her with him. Lise felt an awkward twist in her words. If she wanted to become strong, it was clear she harbored a deep resolve within her. Although he had been warned to avoid getting involved with humans, he found he could not abandon her. Since he had already meddled in this affair, he felt a sense of responsibility to bring her back home. He reminded himself that he was no longer human. He stood up, apologizing as he told her that he wouldn't be able to help her at that moment. He thought about how, after being reincarnated as an elf, his lifespan had increased significantly. The way elves experienced the flow of time was far different from how he had felt as a human. Allowing her to accompany him, knowing their perceptions of time differed so greatly, felt wrong. Moreover, he would have to wait 7 more years before he could leave for the outside world. While that might seem like a short time for him, it would be a very long wait for her. He couldn't bear to erase such determination from her. He decided to render her unconscious. Just then, he heard some people approaching, wondering about the slave traders in the area and intent on preventing their escape. Lise decided to leave the rest to the guild. He jumped to a tree branch, reassuring himself that in 7 years, if the girl's determination remained unchanged, they would surely meet again. Afterward, he returned to the library, where he later heard rumors of an incredible girl who called herself the Nameless Woman. She was said to possess great vigor and had achieved remarkable military feats. Finally, 100 years had passed since Lise became an elf, and a strange girl visited the patriarch's house. He apologized for summoning her, to which she replied that it was fine. The patriarch mentioned that Lise had always shown up there. He reminisced about how he had promised to train Lise until he reached 100 years of age, but it seemed that Lise's heart had not wavered. Elves were meant to live their lives in the village under the protection of Yggdrasil. The patriarch then asked the girl what she thought might happen if such an elf were to venture outside, likening it to a baby mouse jumping into a battlefield. The girl responded that the outcome would be clear once they saw the fire. As Lise gazed outside, he thought to himself that the day had finally come. He had trained for 100 years for this moment, and now the day of the exam that would allow him to leave the confines of his home had arrived. The patriarch met with Lise to inform him that the examination was finally over. After spending a century in training, Lise's desire to leave the ancient forest had not changed. Lise agreed with this sentiment. Just then, they heard a voice addressing the patriarch, remarking that it seemed they had quite the lively child preparing for departure. Lise noted that although someone was speaking, he was unable to see the person. The patriarch explained that the speaker had neither lost to him, nor was Lise inferior in any way, which was troubling. The voice continued, stating that Lise must be a genius to have received the patriarch's permission to leave after only a century. The patriarch replied that Lise's level of genius was difficult to articulate, and that perhaps, with what he had accomplished, Lise would come to understand the extent of his own abilities. Then, a girl appeared in front of Lise, suggesting that he might have to look forward to what was to come. Shocked, Lise wondered where she had come from. She introduced herself as Rahab Lori and mentioned that she was just under 6 centuries old. Lise was fascinated by Rahab, realizing she was the one who mysteriously appeared to ill humans to cure them in exchange for valuable fruits. He expressed his excitement at finally meeting her. Rahab asked if people really spoke about her in such a manner. Lise mentioned that she was the one who had collected all those books from the outside world centuries ago and had been referenced countless times within them. He thought that compared to himself, she was like a veteran. She should know a great deal about the outside world. However, to his surprise, she was the complete opposite of what he had imagined, a brawny elf. Rahab mentioned that her examination was simple. He had to survive until she ran out of mana from attacking him. Lise wondered about the challenge of simply surviving. She added that she wouldn't mind if he used recovery magic during their bout. Having spent 3 centuries in training herself, she requested that he not go too hard on her. Lise thought that as long as he passed the exam, he could leave. He expressed his anticipation for that moment. Suddenly, a magic circle appeared beneath him, and rocks emerged from it to launch an attack. He jumped to dodge, shocked that she had cast such a powerful spell without even chanting. She had used the earth magic, Earthen Spear. Lise felt the strain on his magic foundation under the pressure. Realizing she was already reading his movements, another attack came at him, and he exclaimed that it wasn't fair. Rahab countered, explaining that humans were savage, sly, and cowardly beings. As her staff emitted magic, Lise realized she had prepared another spell. In the outside world, survival wasn't guaranteed by merely receiving. He needed to learn to fight if he wished to leave. Determined, he conjured the earth magic Varline to create a barrier for himself, declaring it a spell comparable to her Earthen Spear. She remarked that he seemed interesting. Since he was an elf, she had thought he could only use recovery magic. Instead, it was almost as if he were human. Lise thought that his motivation stemmed from his previous life as a human. He then used the wind magic Sylph to leap into the air. Rahab recognized it as grand magic and wondered if she could shoot him down from his elevated position. She then attacked him with fireballs. Lise assessed that her magic might not surpass higher ranks, yet it was challenging to cope with how she could cast spells without chanting. He reminded himself not to get distracted. Rahab commented that it was impressive and noted that her method of attack would be unrelenting. Soon enough, he wouldn't be able to escape her onslaught. As he dodged, she caught him off guard by asking why he wanted to venture into the outside world. He was surprised by the question, but answered that he believed an elf's life was very long. She replied that the elven village was to her a very peaceful place, more so than anywhere else in the world. Lise reflected that it had been 100 years since he was born an elf, and no matter how many times he had failed, he had dedicated himself to magic. However, all that preparation was meant to leave a mark on the world. He thought back to his previous life, where he hadn't dedicated himself to anything or formed deep connections with anyone, leaving him filled with regret until the end. In this new world, he wanted to know more, to enjoy life more fully than anyone else, and to be remembered by someone. To realize that dream, he felt he needed to leave the forest. He then stopped telling all of this to Rahab. She thought about it for a moment, and Lise also asked why she wanted to go to the outside world. Rahab showed them a fruit and explained that she wanted to eat a lot of tasty fruits. He was shocked to hear that, realizing she only lured people in exchange for fruits. She confessed that she had liked the fruit for a long time and that in the forest she could easily gather cuckoo fruits. However, after 50 years of eating them, she grew tired and wanted to try other fruits, which is why she wished to travel to the outside world. He was astonished and asked if she had trained for 300 years for this. She replied that she had done her best, and somehow 300 years had passed. He mentioned that he thought it was good that she only spent that much time training and inquired about her comrades who had left without training first. She replied that they had all been engulfed by the waves of the world. Thanks to her training, she was able to travel safely and had acquired the dark magic of humans over the past few centuries. It was this power that allowed her to enjoy various fruits from different lands. She then ate the fruit and remarked that at one point, she had found the outside world to be incredibly enjoyable. However, recently, the flavors of those fruits had declined in quality. He wondered about the food. Meanwhile, the patriarch was secretly watching them both. Rahab remarked that they had chatted for too long and suggested they continue the exam. Now it was the final part, where she would make use of all her power. She used fireballs and other spells to attack him, while he employed wind magic, summoning a sylph to try to dodge her onslaught. He realized that he could now only rely on chantless magic, yet she was capable of wielding several different elements simultaneously. If it came to that, he knew he should also attack. He summoned hardening magic and magic empowerment, using his beast fist to strike at the material and her spear to break it. She picked up one piece and remarked that he had managed to destroy it. Lise asked what it was. Rahab replied that it was a magic stone empowered by elemental magic crafted by humans. By inserting just a small amount of magical power, it automatically cast spells. Lise expressed surprise that humans could create something like that, noting that all the magic Rahab had used up to that point wasn't her own. He wondered if she was truly able to use that much magic without chanting. Rahab admitted that even now she could only use recovery magic. She explained that she had convinced people of her abilities through petty tricks. If a child couldn't do that, she would want to crush their dreams. However, Lise completely avoided her attacks, which were born from these tricks, and then congratulated him on passing the test. Feeling happy, he thanked her. She smiled at him and acknowledged that he had tried his hardest. She noted that if he had been born much earlier, it wouldn't be strange to consider him strong enough to be the calamitous demon king. He mentioned that it was a little overwhelming. The training he had persistently dedicated himself to for a century finally came to an end that day, and he had at last received his reward. The scene shifted to a market in the human world, where a girl entered a fruit shop, offering a polite excuse as she approached. The man behind the counter welcomed her warmly. She revealed her coins and declared that she wanted to buy all the fruits displayed before her. Shocked, the man asked if she truly intended to spend that much money on fruits again, inquiring about her reasoning. She whispered that it was because she had heard that elves loved fruits. When he pressed for more details, she replied that it was nothing and insisted he sell her the fruits. He agreed without hesitation. As she made her purchase, she thought about how she had eagerly awaited the day she would meet him again. As Lisa's party collected the fruits, he approached them with the patriarch, announcing that he had passed the test. His father exclaimed how amazing that was. The patriarch confirmed that he had witnessed it with his own eyes. Lisa's mother suggested he take a short break at home, noting that 10 years would be just fine. Lise thought to himself that, as usual, the elven perception of time was quite different. He mentioned that he had already planned to leave the next day. His mother advised him not to be in such a hurry, reminding him that at 100 years of age, he was still a child. Lise explained that he had taken an exam with his senior, Rahab, who knew a great deal about the world, and had given him her approval. His father asked if he was referring to Rahab Lori. Lise inquired if his father knew her. His father replied that Rahab was like a little sister to him, and recounted the time when he had ventured into the nearby forest for the first time, noting that Rahab had already begun studying recovery magic. He added that if Rahab recognized Lisi's abilities, then there was no way he wouldn't either. Lise was truly set on going out into the world. As Lise agreed, his father turned to retrieve something, asking Lise to make a wish. His mother then interjected that before Lise went off to distant lands, she needed to do some motherly things for him first. Lise was surprised by her insistence. She asked him to sit down. As he sat there, his mother approached him, expressing her desire for him to keep something special. She handed him a locket, explaining that it had helped keep her hair beautiful for a long time. She told him that when she and Lisi's father got married, the divine tree Yggdrasil had given it to her as a charm. If Lise wore it, the divine tree's influence would always be there to protect him. He noted that it seemed like an important item. As he began to say he was already 100 years old, she hugged him from behind and asked him to promise that if he ever messed up and left before they did, it would be terrible. He agreed and made her that promise. Then Lisi's father called him over to show him some boxes, explaining that although it might not be enough, he had prepared provisions for Lise to last 10 years. Lise was shocked by the sight of it all. His father continued, saying that he knew Lise would want to leave for the best someday, which was why he had been saving everything. Lise's mother interjected, saying they needed to wait, as Lise couldn't possibly carry all of that by himself. Lise denied this and demonstrated his storage magic, Sematus, explaining that he had applied a technique akin to movement magic. By interfering with subspace, anything placed inside would not rot or spoil and would be preserved as it was. His father and mother were delighted by this revelation, and his mother expressed a wish to have it as well. The patriarch thought to himself that it was truly an impressive feat of ancient magic. The next day, Lise was all set to leave. With a wave of his hand, he finally departed. His mother remarked that it would be lonely from now on, but she was sure they would live together again someday. As he walked, Lise thought about greeting Rahab once more, but she was probably already gone. His destination now was the House of Garland. He reflected on the sole noble house of humanity that interacted with Elven Kand, the House of Garland, and recalled the promise he had made 7 years ago to Gallius. Although he hadn't been able to meet them before due to his illness, he was eager to see Grillet. As he approached Yggdrasil's protective barrier, he passed through it, stepping into the outside world. He noted that the weather was fine and clear, ideal for venturing forth. Suddenly, he heard growling behind him and noticed several beasts approaching. Just then, a girl appeared, using fire magic to unleash a phalanx that swiftly dispatched the wolves with a single swing. Lise was taken aback by her efficiency. As she turned to him and approached, he felt a flicker of fear. She knelt down and said she had been waiting for him for 7 years. Lise noticed a cross-shaped wound on her cheek and realized it was the same girl he had saved 7 years ago. She confirmed his recognition, stating that her memories from that time were vague in places, but she had held on to the hope inspired by his words and had trained herself for that moment. He replied that he never imagined she would adhere to his words to such an extent. She agreed with him. He thought back to the day when he had healed her and had saved her from the brink of death. She had vowed to become stronger. He was sure he had used magic to seal those memories deep within her heart,